Hello. We should be seeing Sunless Sea right now. Let me see if I can make that happen correctly. Hey, there we are. All right. I think while the music was playing for a few minutes there, we were having some connection issues, but I think I managed to mostly solve them. I suppose you'll have to let me know. But otherwise, hey, I'm back in town, and so I get to do some streaming. It's been a moment, and I think the last time, little quiet. Excellent. Thank you for letting me know. I will turn myself up. We had done some Tohil, Captain Tohil. We had gotten, what did I say last time? Last time we did Sunless Sea. We had done some Tohil. Hopefully a little bit better on the volume now. But that was mixed in with some technical difficulties on El Paso Elsewhere, which got resolved. And so now we are picking back up for, I think, the third individual time, if we count creating him. Probably him, with Captain Tohil here. We're in Sunless Sea. We're at the Cumayan Canal staging area. Welcome all those kind enough to tune in. Let me see if I can pull up our chart real quick. Pause us. So this is what our navigations so far look like. We've been to the Salt Lions, I think once or twice, carrying Sphinx Stone. We've managed not to get killed in Gator's Mourn. I think we originally went up to Venderbites. We've been putting in some regular visits at Hunter's Keep, which is overlapping there with Low Barnett. Nothing particularly intense has happened on the Shepherd Isles or Demo Island so far. Let's check our journal, our gazetteer, just for some ongoing things. We're sojourning with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. We've met the antiquarian at the university. We are in the Admiralty's favor a little bit. Captain Celiand rests beneath the waves. Good riddance. Haven't really upgraded much of anything just yet. Our current Admiralty commission is here at the Cumayan Canal. So, boy, I said that wrong. Cumayan Canal. So we'll get to that just a moment here. We have Salt's attention and Stone's attention. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Nothing overly notable in our miscellaneous category. Our hold is unremarkable at the moment. We've got a little bit of mushroom wine, some supplies, and some fuel. We've got an extraordinary implication, a tale of terror, a restful night, a Z story, a restaurant recommendation, just fun. A whalebone token. We picked up the Neathbow quest in Venderbites, so we got those pages about the different colors. Our whisper-locked puzzle box that we haven't been able to open yet, and then some assorted things. We are pretty basic here. We need to probably upgrade our Legaia class steamer as quickly as possible. I just noted that it's named Bathory, which I'm not going to change. Well, according to most measures, everything is fine, but my stream preview says offline. So that's hopefully not actually the case. Well, I haven't been looking at it, but rather have been looking at the screen. Inspector doesn't say anything particularly noteworthy. All right, I am still here apparently. So saith the chat. That's good. I guess I just won't be able to see my own stream, so y'all have to let me know if anything particular is going wrong. All right. Let's see what we got at the Cumain Canal. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight of the surface. So we can't travel to the surface. We need to have just so much more fuel. Let's go ahead and gather a port report. Probably not going to be anything particularly amiss there. Business as usual. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the Untersee, it's here. The surface nations have an interest in keeping the way open. So we got our perfunctory port report. If you do hear odd noises, people in our neighborhood are for some reason still doing fireworks. So that would be that. Let's fulfill our Admiralty commission. Row out and meet a contact at the foot of the Albertine Gates. The password is the Empire Remembers. In the shadow of the gates, a deeply tanned vagabond waits in his jolly boat. His clothes are ragged and his face is filthy, but his voice and manners are educated. His message is a string of numbers and the names of 7 towns in Essex, Shropshire, and Cumbria. He insists that you repeat it back to him 3 times. He will not allow you to commit it to paper. So we got some strategic information and completed our Admiralty commission. We won't head back directly, perhaps. I'll check our supplies. Looking all right there. Let's listen for surface gossip. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place. A sorry end. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble for the coins that spill from her pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings, dates, times, code names, spies work. So we got a move in the great game. Moves in the great game. The nations of Europe and beyond compete for influence. Their plots reach even the Neath. All right, we can't do too much more there. Let's check our shops. Just harborside provisioners. Nothing too noteworthy. They're a little expensive. No particular ships. So I think we're ready to put to Z. Try to head a little more southward before we loop back north. Hopefully this will read as cryptic and not a giveaway, but hopefully I will be able to locate the Utter Shroom. Here we go. Back to Z. We got ourselves the Blimmigan Gallivanter, the Clattery Air for our surgeon, and the Sigil-ridden Navigator for our first officer. Much more pages than anything else, which primarily helps to make most efficient use possible of our exploration. We gather fragments quite quickly. Nothing in range of the Z-Bat. Nice big open area of Z here. I'm not scared, you're scared. So in Sunless Skies, sending out your bat costs supplies. Let's see. We got March 4th, 1888. Sizzling vapors rise from the sea. Time slips sideways. A coil of rope has stung a stoker, and his fellows beat it to death. We are under the hand of the Iron Republic. Also, the glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. So I'm going to try and sort of loop back to the western shore here and see if we can find the Iron Republic and put in there. Got some land here to investigate first, though. Oh, Denois just got Sunless Skies this week on sale. Let's see, the Z here is warm. Bubbles rise and burst with lazy menace. The fire in the earth is restless. That is exciting. I have a lot less expertise because I found it quite a bit more difficult. For a lot of the reasons that people, I think, generally consider it to be a more refined product overall, like steering actively rather than just sort of pointing yourself and, you know, kind of having a little bit more dynamic combat. they all have also gone to a lot of trouble to try and eliminate some of the tedium of sort of looping out and back to London, so that you have a number of hubs in the middle of sort of circular areas to explore, so that you can kind of loop out and back to the center rather than having to go to the outside of the map. Yeah, no, I hope when you do get to try it, you enjoy it greatly. Man, this music just really instantly lodged itself in my brain when I first played this game. It's great. Fogbank. Yeah. The best kind of sail. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. Yeah, definitely free is hard to beat. I find that for my purposes at least, Sunless Skies plays better with a controller. I have had a little bit of trouble getting controllers I own to work, but I also don't own like first-party Xbox controllers, which may be part of the problem. This is fascinating. I seem to have slipped between sort of cells on the map and managed to avoid filling in a spot. Well, this is good. I am nice and paused so that I can try to figure out how to moderate this chat that came in. There we go. I guess I was going to make a Nightcrawler joke, but Nightcrawler pretty much only teleports himself. This is more of like a... Man, I don't even know. But yeah, much more substantial kind of teleportation than even that. Watch me have made a loop just barely around. Okay, we're back in the area around the Iron Republic. Don't want to go too much further south here. That's dangerous. I do want to get to the Iron Republic directly because they tend to have cheap coal. Oh, come on. Hide me, Fogbank. Oh, for crying out loud. Alright, well, this is some of the worst luck I think I've ever had in this game, which is saying something. Come on. I got 3 hull left. And 6 crew. Alright, well, we discovered Kugel's Bluff and the Iron Republic, and we're not dead, even though we got real close. Whew. Iron Republic, Hell's client state. Be wary, their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions. Blood thunders in the dock pipes. Crimson lightning skitters across the deck, leaps to the rail, curls there like a cat. The city is reflected in glassy, calm harbor water. The citizens there have the heads of dogs and serpents. Hell has brought freedom to the Iron Republic. Freedom from all laws, even those of nature. Ooh, we can engage an irrepressible cannoneer. I don't think I want to allow my sailors time ashore. It's kind of an expensive way to have horrible things happen. Can fund a tittering artificers project. All right. Well, I'm going to compile our port report, and then I'll go through some of these other ones a little bit more specifically. It won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight, and the ink freezes whenever you look away from the inkwell. Titter indeed. It's apparently somewhat dependent on the little sort of clock randomizer in the Iron Republic. Often, by trying to do a port report in the Iron Republic, you get some terror. So let's see. New passions. The sensations of the Republic are overwhelming. This is a desire for years. That is a hatred for fountains. Here is an emotion that can only be expressed mathematically. Now you are awash with the nostalgia for the hatching of the egg. Write it down. Write it all down. Perhaps you'll be rid of it. So we have our port report. We apparently might have gotten a change to our hearts if it was at a different value. The Parliament of Flies is open for business, and we got a Teal of Terror and a Memory of Distant Shores, and no terror. Wild. So, let's check out the Market of Hungers, the Parliament of Flies. The Market of Hungers, with its spires and its sigils. Is it a parody of the bazaar? Today, flies fill its arcades. Buzz, buzz. A new day comes. Visit the shops tab. After this visit, the Parliament will no longer be here. The Republic will seek zoop and supplies instead. So we gain some terror. And the shop, the Calvary Doctrine, is open for business. House of Pleasures. The flies will caress you with their wings. Hurry up and purchase something. I think that's a slight deal on Parabola Linen. Definitely use the fuel for 8 echoes. Let's get at least back up to 6. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much because I do want to be able to see about the officers here and such, but I see we can change the Market of Hungers by spending our Something Awaits You. On days such as this, the market is filled with crucified dragons and laws in waiting. They whistle a welcome. While most emotions are best expressed mathematically, usually something involving sigma, occasionally exponents. I may have to defer to you on that one. Let's see. I don't have the funds for the Tittering Artificers project, but I am going to read it. Nearly ready. Yes, nearly ready. I need more. You can have the prototype when it's done. Take it, kill with it. I want to see what damage you can do. Ammunition will be difficult. It will cost you so much. But the weapon, oh, the weapon. This is a forward-mounted weapon with unusual characteristics. On the off chance that I end up pursuing that a little later, if I have a long enough life ahead of me as Captain Tohil, I'll leave it at that. Good Lord. Listen, your fears line up on the key, waving like old lovers. Fortunately, we don't have enough terror to do that, but... Engage an officer, the irrepressible cannoneer. Captain, are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here is my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? So we have the opportunity to get the irrepressible cannoneer gunnery officer who increases iron. Okay, so yeah, sigma is the symbol used as the summation symbol, so it's the sum of the solving the following equation with all possibilities within the presented range. I do remember learning the algebra 2 version of using sigma, and that does seem like it would be useful in expressing emotional states. Weirdly enough, I remember integrals better than I remember summations. May tell you everything you need to know about my math education. I enjoy that the irrepressible cannoneer is cheap, just 20 echoes. Let's go ahead. Welcome aboard. Oh, this is interesting. Room for improvement? There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me take notes. Paper. And we can point him forthwith. Let's see. Officers. Our gunner officer. Cheery enthusiasm is a welcome but unnerving trait in a gunner. There we go. Our iron is a little bit better now. Ooh, I could use some more veils. That's for sure. And our Sidroid Navigator is doing a good job there. But could try to get away from those ding-dang dreadnoughts a little better if I had some more veils. All right. It looks like that's about all we can do here for now. Probably good on fuel with 6. So I guess the best thing we can do now is head back to London with our strategic information and use it to try and get our ship repaired, because 2 Republic dreadnoughts is very scary at this point in the game. Den recently remembered this part of math. As you foolishly said yes when an engineer friend said, "You know math, right?" Yes. A situation I think we have all found ourselves imperiled by at one point or another. Perhaps mine is not so much help me with this problem as you know math, as you know enough math to listen to this particular discussion, which is sometimes but not often true. I'd probably be good at Iron Republic math, come to think of it. I'm going to stay very close to the shore here, both for exploration purposes and also because it is somewhat likely that that will be safer. I see a maelstrom over there. Have to pick that up on our chart later. I'm grateful we didn't lose more crew there, because we would be slowed down were that the case. You're short-handed. Little ships throng the waters here. The crew grow wistful. They swap old stories of Sunless Sea. We draw close to the Cumaean Canal, the way to the surface. We also discovered Hecatorin's Arch. Yeah, somehow we still didn't quite get the last little cell there. Creeping is the most traditional way to move through the Z, I think. Alright, we avoided a Gillifleur. I guess I won't try to fill this northwestern area in just now. We'll just cut straight across, because I do have fuel and supplies, but I don't know that I have that many fuel and supplies. Yeah, as anyone who's ever read the Yellow Wallpaper can tell you, crawling is similar to, but not identical to, creeping. All right, let's steer clear of the crab. Man, what a disastrous little foray to the south. Rapid carcinization would not help the ship, that is true. Fallen London Extreme Meat Punks Forever crossover event when? All right. Well, hopefully just getting the strategic information will make this reasonably break-even-ish as a voyage. All right. Returning to London. All the clatter and song of the dockside, it soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? Let's see. Something has changed in the Neath. Good, cool. Someone wants to sign on. We have a free evening. Oh, we could visit Clathermont's tattoo parlor. All right. Let's visit the dark spectacled admiral first, since we will need the admiralty's favor in order to repair our ship. Let's see. Where did our strategic information? There it is. Pass on strategic information. The admiral sits up, although he steeples his fingers and pretends calm. Invisible eyes. It's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory, he says at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you paid. 150 echoes is good, and Admiralty's favor is good. Dan opened a new dock for that crossover. Muha, ha ha. And furthermore, ha ha ha. Let's see if there's more strategic information from the Kumain Canal again. All right, we'll start our voyage there, I guess. We'll see. What does speaking of the great game get me? 30 echoes and more Admiralty's favor. I'll take it. Whispers. He has you repeat it all twice. He doesn't take notes. It's a little beyond me, he tells you. But I have a friend in the palace who'll be interested. Very interested. Thank you. Your fee. No idea how well my voices track from recording to recording. I guess that'll be something that comes out if you pull up the newly minted VOD playlist on YouTube and see how it goes. Submit our port reports. Kumain Canal. 5 echoes. The Iron Republic. Excuse me, I need to unlock this and this. Oops, and this. Could you place your report inside? Yes, I imagine someone will read it eventually. There's always someone. Voomf. No, I didn't expect that to happen. Well, perhaps it's for the best. Some reports should not be reported. No, don't concern yourself. This was my 3rd best suit, and the Admiralty offers a modest allowance for document-related damage. Perhaps it's best if you leave now, though. Good day. 5 terror. 1 fuel. And 4 fragments. Yeah, port reports from the Iron Republic are risky. And those are the only ones we had. All right. Let's see. A merchant venturer. An urchin tugs your sleeve. Governor wants a wed. A brooding figure waits at the lamplight's edge. Speak to the merchant venturer. I have need of a reliable agent. Failing that, an inventive one. Here are my requirements. He has very specific needs, but he'll pay much better than market rates, and he won't ask how you came by these things. All right. Let's see what exactly he might need. Love stories. Something romantic and approved. They publish the stuff in the Khanate to the east, but they don't trade readily, and there's a customs duty on love stories. Still, I'll pay 1,000 echoes for the 7. Fascinating. Romantic and smuggled. Or something silky. I'll offer you a much better price than you'll get in Wolfstack. Much better. 1,500 echoes for the lot. You'll find silk in Saviour's Rocks far to the east, or in the Khanate near the Z's heart. Right, Saviour's Rocks. Lots of silk there. Let's see. Don't need a live specimen. Don't have anything for the Labyrinth of Tigers. I don't think I really want to get involved with the Blind Bruiser just yet. Maybe not at all. Tohil may be above that kind of thing. Let's see. We got some things we can give to the Alarming Scholar, if we wish. A piquant piece of picaresque pilgrimage. Let's see what that does. Above the Blind Bruiser as this captain for now, anything so's. I suppose that might make Tohil, in the captain's own words, hoity-toity. Wells of emotion. As the Alarming Scholar listens, tears well in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing, eyes. They overflow, splashing onto the desk blotter. Stop! She sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macaw of memories I wish each individual tone recalled. Okay, so 10 echoes and favors antiquarian, probably. About right. I guess for a bat, Tohil probably is bougie. For a Z captain, Z story, A Tale of the Deep. Difficult dictation. Thrilling. Let me hear every detail. First, I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? The decline and fall of the Roman Empire is good for something, eh? I think I want to hold on to my extraordinary implication for now. I believe them to be pretty valuable, so let's see. We got the Rose Market, some carousing, which may not go amiss given Terror 29. We do need to hire on more crew, but let's see who awaits our attention as a new recruit first. We've got the Presbyterate Adventuress, a gunnery officer who increases iron and veils, which is kind of tempting. More expensive, though. Afternoon, Captain. Looking for a gunnery officer. I'd like to help you blow up some monsters if you'd have me. Or we could just engage a Zailor for 5 echoes, which is cheap. It's hard not to collect officers, but I do already have a gunner I just paid for. I hope that wasn't too unpleasant a noise into the microphone. Yeah, let's engage an officer. Gotta catch them all. Welcome aboard. Oh, hello, Captain. Is this one of yours? I had to knock her about a bit. She didn't like taking orders from foreigners. Still, we're good friends now. The adventuress claps the black-eyed sailor on the back. Oddly enough, they do seem to be friends now. So we have Presbyterate Adventuress. Perhaps she's afraid of being forgotten. She isn't afraid of much else. For 50 echoes. No more recruits at the moment. Let's see if we can hire on more Zailors, though. Sensible Zailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, look for daredevils. 30 echoes. Oof. But hey, we lost one terror. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. That's good enough for crew for the moment. We do need to put into dry dock rather badly. Let's see. Ledbetter and Stainrod. 75 echoes. Cottrell and Hathersage, 100 echoes. Admiralty Yards, 25 echoes, and at least 3 Admiralty's favor. And supplies for the Ratus Faber. I think the Admiralty Yards are the way to go. 24 echoes, 3 favors, and full hull repair. Not bad. let's see. Let's visit the Roser's Wharf and see what we've got here. See, I could have used my move in the Great Game here. Should have checked first. That'll learn me. Clathermonts. You're a real sailor now, after all. You could go to one of those tobacco and prey places by the docks, but the prices at Clathermonts are reasonable, and his daughters are real artists. But what sign will you choose? We've got the Dauntless Hand to commemorate your daring. Cure up to 25 points of terror and increase our iron by 2. The Wheel of Mists. Veils by 2. Just 1 echo. The Unflinching Eye for mirrors. The Splendor for hearts. The Gambit for pages. Or Remain Unblemished. If you wanted your memories on your skin, you'd be a squid. This will reduce your terror to 0 once only. I'm not that bad off. I think I was just talking about needing veils, but I would need a Z story for that, and I gave my only one away. So we will hold off then until another time. Visit our lodgings. We could rest for 10 echoes. We might do that. Yes, let us rest for 10 echoes. Actually, do I already have a restful night? I have a free evening is what I've got. Let's use that first. Let's try and reduce our terror with a free evening. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. We've got some recent news. Lost 5 terror. Trouble and romance. Let's see. We've got our likely lass and our dapper chap. I think that for now our decision for Tohil was someone whose name you do not afterwards recall. Your only love is the Z. You'll take comfort where you find it, but that's all it is. And that loses us a couple more terror. Relaxing evening. Together you exercise the chill of the Neath. When you wake, you're alone, but that's how you've always preferred it. Good deal. Now, let's go to... Boy, I'm a mess. Here we go, our lodgings. Let's rest in our room for 10 echoes. Losing a terror, gaining a restful night. The rats keep you awake of nights with their muttering and skirmishing, but the bed is warm and the door has a lock. There we go. I think that's just about everything for now, so let's go to the shops and see if there's anything in particular we want to sell before we stock up for our journey. Not too much that we can actually afford that would be particularly worthwhile. Got to remember that we don't have a forward weapon slot. We just have deck weapons, so that does limit us. We did upgrade to the Cottrell and Hathersage Reproach, which is good. Forward weapons, aft weapon, forward weapon. So our next upgrade is going to cost 500 echoes. It's going to be a moment before we get that, I think. And we may be able to find something better out at Z. Wolf Stack Exchange. Let's see, we could sell the mushroom wine, but I think we might actually kind of need it. Probable Linen sells for 60. We can buy it for 57. Under the right circumstances. Just got to remember that. So it looks like we are just stocking up here. All right, that should at least get us back to the Iron Republic if we decide to go that way. Really would rather find Mount Palmerston in this game. All right. Going a little on the slow side here. That's okay. Would love to get to a Corvette, but failing that, Could maybe get the cutter. It is much lighter and gives us a Veils bonus. Fewer quarters, though. Has more slots, which is helpful. Got that forward weapon. My most successful captain to date spent a long time in the Forked class corvette. It's pretty good all-rounder, honestly. Small, swift, and formidable, like a very angry vole. I've never really used the Caligo class merchant cruiser. It has 120 hold capacity. No forward weapon. But I just was able to get to the frigate around about the time I'd have been able to afford the merchant cruiser. I suppose we all would love to get to a corvette. All right, well, that in mind, let's see. Our Veils are probably going to be more valuable to us than our iron right this instant. So let's equip the Presbyterate Adventuress. And then be on our way to the Cumaean Canal yet again. Set a southerly course. Anything Soz doesn't drive would be happy to pose on a Corvette. Particularly funny if it is a literal ship of that class rather than the car. All right. Let's see if we can't clear a little bit more of the darkness on our chart. Discovered Quaker's Haven. Fog is not amazing for our terror. Row of watchful Z-bats. Boy, the fog. Okay, there we go. Row of watchful Z-bats hang from a cable. Their heads swivel in unison as you cross the deck. Mutton Island. Fires on the hillside. Once, this simple fishing village was part of the London suburbs before London fell and the waters rushed in. Smoke spirals from cottage chimneys. A lonely hill rises behind the town. So we've got at least a few things that we could do. Do not have the supplies to engage a wretched Mog. Boy, quite a lot of things we could do, in fact. Pretty sure that Pennsylvania is actually Quaker's Haven. I have never been aboard a Corvette, the ship, so I couldn't tell you, Dan, if they're similarly nice to ride into a Corvette, the car. I don't believe I've had the pleasure of riding in a Corvette. I did road trip one time in a fairly beefy sort of make of Mustang. And while fun, the engine and the muffler were so loud that conversation was impossible and the stereo was inaudible, which is not great for a long road trip. So with a good muffler, though, I'd have been pretty pleased. Let's see. Don't need to buy this fuel or supplies, I don't think, although I do like this one. A woman with soot-stained lips has crates of coal to sell. Visit the hilltop above town, using up our something awaits you in port. There's not much wind on the Untersee, but Mutton Island suffers eerie gusts and buffets from an inexplicably local fragment of weather. And the air on the hilltop sometimes carries interesting scents. We get our port report for one echo from the fishermen. They sail the Z around the island. They mend their nets by the harbor. They see all that happens here, but you'll need coin to open their mouths. Mustang and Corvette, yeah, are rather different classes of cars, I would think. Still the closest I've gotten. Let's see. We could wander a little way along the shore. We could get drinks at the Cock and Magpie. There's only one public house on the island. The Cock and Magpie is famed for its local cider and, of course, seafood. Or we could talk to... Oh, we don't have our submarine, so we can't talk to a wandering parson. Well, let's get our port report. Little ships and little secrets. Pirates plying the waves. Smugglers at their work. Connate ships. Putting in to resupply. Nothing dramatic, but enough to interest the Admiralty. And our terror is still relatively high, but I don't really want to spend 20 echoes on drinks. So let's explore the shore. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Beachcombing. Take a stroll along the beach. Perhaps the Z has brought you something. Driftwood? A smooth, dark surface. Something glinting. Just bottle glass? Or a nasty glob of goo. It lies on the shingle like a discarded heart. Mustang equals pony car, Corvette equals sports car. I like that. Does make me wonder why there's no high-performance consumer automobile called like a frigate. Convertible of the line would be a fun one, perhaps. Heck, like a full-size van called a galleon. I'd drive that. Let's see about the driftwood. Smooth, dark surface. A horrid carving. Someone shaped this into a devil mask and then threw it into the Z. When you look at it, it's easy to see why. Ugh. That's all for now. We have an outlandish artifact. What's the worst that could happen as a person who has come up with several very worse things to happen on shores? I resemble that remark. All right, I think we're done here. Off to the Cumine Canal. Let's head a little bit more directly southerly for the time being. Someone do pay this man. A van called a galleon is a genius idea. Seems like it was probably done like in the 40s, if I had to guess. But I'd have to look it up, and if not, yeah. I should definitely be hired for product line management by some large automobile maker. A job I would definitely enjoy and keep for more than 2 weeks. All right. See what we got, little bat. No islands, all right. Well, let's bank westward toward the Cumine Canal at this light before we get into the fog. Oh, gotta catch myself humming along with the music. My bat is most certainly tired. Maybe not as tired as my weasel, but tired all the same. There we go. Port report. Nothing interesting there. Fulfill my Admiralty commission. Same thing as last time. Very rarely get those rolled the same way twice in a row, but it does happen. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place, so let's listen for gossip. Daylight. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like competition. Still, there are temporary half-legal hostleries and long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntanned surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia, the lost fires, the final isles. Vision of the surface. Ah, Den to the rescue. The Renault Galion, is I'm guessing how that is said, I don't know, were truck vans with a 2.5-ton carrying capacity manufactured by Renault between 1947 and 1957. Ah, yeah, I dialed it in pretty close for when that would have been a model of automobile. Still, that means there's a gap in the market. Indeed. Thank you, Dan. All right. Pretty set here. So now we just got to figure out our next stop. I am a little gun shy about going to the Iron Republic since it is a longish sail. And I got minced by 2 dreadnoughts when I was down there. Still, I do need to make it down to the Carnelian coast eventually. So perhaps I can go... If I just head east into parts unknown, I can let my discoveries guide me from there. It's the way I'm already pointing, so let's get to it. And hopefully I won't run out of fuel. That would be silly. Staying on the edges of the fog bank here. Oh, they continue to be produced by subsidiary until 1965. A pretty long-lived model for that kind of a thing. All right, we are in parts unknown. Tired bat, go. World is webbed with invisible lines. You've crossed one. Tighten them and it would split like a fruit. There's a comforting thought. Thank you. I've been playing some Horizon. I finally finished Zero Dawn and started Forbidden West in my own time, and I enjoyed in Zero Dawn I think this is still a feature in Forbidden West. I've heard a couple of lines that I think trigger this way, but Aloy just responds to things in her environment with like sort of poetical observations some of the time, and then at other times sort of her intrusive thoughts. Oh, uh-oh. The crawling stars. Don't love that. Don't love that at all. Far above, the false stars in the cavern roof are shifting, a rare and ominous event. What now? So let's see. Record the change and assign a name. If the news shape seems well omened, your crew may be cheered. Who knows? Matter of luck, it could go either way. 50-50 chance. Or eyes on the deck. Forbid them to look. You can't really stop them, but you can at least discourage discussion. They won't like it, but it's safer. Well, safety schmafety, right? A darkness. 3 of the false stars wink out altogether as suddenly as closed eyes. The pattern that remains is as hopeless and meaningless as cast dice. Somewhere, a Zaylor begins to sob. Gained 2 terror that way. Cool. Our fuel is not holding up as well as I had hoped, so let's angle northward toward Demoux, since we know that that's there and is likely to have some harborside provisioners for us. And hey, a lightship, I think, yeah. Just stop and say hi. They long for news from home. In the bleaching glare, tea beneath the light. In the bleaching glare of the lens, among the smells of oil and metal, you sip tea and chat. The Z's terror recedes. We lost 5 terror and gained a Z story, and I know what I can do with Z stories when I get back to London. So we could purchase fuel for 20 echoes, which is not the worst price you can get on it. Try not to be so precious that I strand myself, but I do think we'll be able to get to Demo. And I think that'll be, at worst, the same price for fuel from the Harborside Provisioners. I'll be able to buy more, probably. Make sure I got the correct bearing here. More or less. Really is a rhythm you have to sort of figure out for the use of fuel. It goes faster than I ever think it does a lot of the time. March 13th. Here the wilder airs mingle with the airs near the reaches of the near reaches. Demo's Gate, named for a navigator lost above. How did his bones come below? Always like that little bit of evocative near story. The Failbetter folks are really good at that type of writing. Blue lightnings crawl leisurely up the funnel. St. Erasmus dancing, the cry goes up. A fervid forest of fungus. I&M has a fungar operation here, felling the giant bulbous shrooms for building materials, harvesting Kirili for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Hello, Captain. Thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad out here otherwise. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Oh, we've got some Clattery Air story we'll get to in just a moment. We could have tea with the factor. We could explore Demo. We could accept a volunteer. We're definitely going to compile a port report. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. I feel like tea with the factor or accepting a volunteer make the most sense. One of the company's Boligus fellers has negotiated an early release from her contract. It's the sproutings, she tells you, her face pleading. I keep picking them out of me porridge, and me hair, and me eyes. Take me away, I'm a good worker. One echo. Pretty good. Hard to pass up. But it will keep us running tea with the factor. Of course, we've already learned about the bandage poissonnier. The factor on this one, I believe. The restaurant recommendation. I believe the main reason to do that is supplies, which we're pretty okay on and can gather more of. So let's grab our new Zailer. And see here, a bandaged fungar. One of the funging workers is watching your crew, and especially watching the Clattery Air. What does he want? Whispered confidences. The tomb colonist draws you a little way away from the Clattery Air. Don't tell her you met me, he says in a hoarse rasp. Her mother cut my voice. Hoped to fix it so I wouldn't be able to look for my daughter, so I wouldn't want to. He wheezes. Didn't work. Operations never completely effective. Need to know my daughters well. Happy, finding enough patients, getting enough to eat, and so forth. In exchange for the simplest news, he explains himself. I am her father, he says. Ordinary engineer, not the sort of parent she would want. If you wish to tell the heir about this encounter, you can do so by speaking with her. Fascinating. Very interesting. Matter of luck, slightly better than even. I mean, what do we got to lose, really? A fog of dread. The spores lie thick on your face. They coat your tongues. One crewman begins to whimper. Oh, Christ, he says. They reached my heart. I think I'll be a harvest yet. Harvest yet. You have to drag him back to the ship before he's calm again. 5 terror is a pretty steep price, but I'll go one more time just to be sure. All right. 1 supplies. Shops. Yeah, it's the same price for fuel. It's fine. I mean, it's a lot, but it'll help me stay out at Z a little longer. All these little, I mean, time spent backtracking is kind of time wasted in a lot of these voyages, so I kind of try to loop around and then up to the Salt Lions, maybe a little north if my fuel's looking good by that point. Here goes. Doing all right. Not great, but, you know, not dead yet, so. Western angler crab. Don't love it. Hey. Didn't hit us. Perfect. Don't much feel the need to stop and fight. Maybe I can put this buoy between me and it. Would want to be able to do a little bit more damage before I tried to fight something with that much health. That's the main thing. We've got a little port over here, and then we can head to the Salt Lions. I like this game, and it's good to be doing it on stream again. A baked breeze rises, the improbable scent of stone out of some distant desert. You are close to the Salt Lions. Oh, come on, what's this now? Alright, well that's like a doable fight, if not one that I'm keen on. Am I on fire? Waste a bit of fuel fighting these ninnies. Come on, one more. Go. Gotcha. Loot and Scuttler. Oh, that was well worth it. 1 supplies, 2 fuel, and a cache of curiosities. I've heard baked breeze is delicious, yeah. It's been my experience. Crates, source of sustenance, the fundamental element of cargo. Another fuel. Coke, like coal but more so, as the Department of Infernal Rarefactions would have it. Alright. Let's see, all clear, and I guess it's a submarine port below us there, so let's head straight to the Salt Lions with our newly gained bounty. A brisk spatter of spray. The Untersee is restless. Go, Zealport. Here I come. See what else I can find. What else I can find. If you'll indulge me. Salt Lions. There is vast sorrow in their empty eyes. 2 basalt beasts, cathedral-sized. They frown eternally at each other across the black waves. The north one carries an encampment. Creeping human figures eat away at its features like rot, picking. There's a supply dock below. So we can visit the Unmakers and carry Sphinx Stone, which I believe that we have space for currently. Yeah, we've got 28 space. We only need 20 for that. It's pretty lucrative. Let's compile a port report. Time, basalt, dissolution. Record the activities of the Unmakers, such as they are. Rite of stone and silence. Let's visit them while we're here. Why not? Muscular pick wielders rest on camp stools, watching you approach, passing hip flasks around. An unctuous overseer beckons you to sit. Fungal. I asked the pronunciation of this last time, and I got it, and I already forgot it. Tisane, I think. I remember the long E at the beginning, I think. Fungal Tisane and tea cakes. We get funding from the bazaar, it's true, but Station 4? I wouldn't call it Station 4. It's a little grandiose. The stones are stuffed with secrets, but most of them are used as garden statuary or occult ballast. Some of them, or most of them, some of them go to the places under the bazaar. More tea cakes? Lost some terror, which is probably worthwhile. Alright. While we get to loading up, I'm going to do my own legwork for once. And one day I will remember this. Oh, interesting. Dictionary.com says tisane or tisane, French tisane. Hopefully I'll remember that. Alright, the Unmakers are here to reduce the salt lions to rubble one block at a time. Help them in their work by carrying the rubble back to London. You will need a deposit and 20 units of spare cargo space. I just barely have enough, so I think I have to go back to London after this. If the stones weep, an Unmaker advises you ignore them. Unless they flood the hold, of course. Then you should probably drop them overboard. Don't tell anyone I said that. We've got 20 Sphinx stone. The Unmakers have smashed these sad and rubbly remnants off the flanks of a salt lion. A contact in London will purchase them. So we paid 200. I think we get 500 for the load. Remember correctly. I may not remember correctly. Alright, charts. Yeah, I'm not going to really be able to buy anything. So I think we're going to head just to Hunter's Keep and then to London. Another one of these dang crabs. See if I can stay clear of it. It's got a lot of health. And I don't really want to deal with it. I guess maybe I end up putting it at Vinderbite just in case. Depending on how the crab do. An angler crab is kind of a terrifying idea, but sort of hilariously not nearly as terrifying as an angler fish in real life. Dust, echoes, even a sepia tint to the air. These are the waters around the tomb colonies. And they do actually, I love this, change the lighting close to the tomb colonies, like in the game. It becomes washed out. Alright. Bat swarm incoming. Tohil is weeping right now. And yet, the bats just kept coming. Let's see. Leathery little corpses lie scattered across your deck. The rest of the swarm vanishes into the neathy dark. Don't believe it'll give us any additional supplies, just eliminate the hunger we have. We don't have any, so let's dispose of them for 1 terror. And also, we didn't get hit, so that's the best possible outcome. Really? Alright. Pirate Steam Pinnace it is. Haha. Sucks to suck. There we go. Loot and scuttle her. And we got 2 supplies. I will not turn my nose up at that. That's like 60 echoes worth of stuff out on the open Z. Well, I know we haven't done a whole lot of discovering things in this first hour. It's been a little touch and go, just kind of keeping to what we know, but Hopefully we are slowly getting to a point where that sort of boldness will be better and easier. Let's see. I have Salt's attention and Stone's attention. I think I can get Storm's attention here too. Let's start by reconnoitering the Isle. I did not reread the stuff here. I suppose I should, because it's been a long time. Hunter's Keep. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other Untersea islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight. Raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges your ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. So let's reconnoiter the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the grounds. Anything else? The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle. The house and the sisters. The Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. Let's see about lunch with Phoebe. I think. Phoebe has a story to tell of two lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersea shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent, like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. There we go. So we gained a memory of distant shores. You are acquainted with the sisters, but something has changed. We gained 1 supplies, lost 24 hunger, and lost 5 terror, which is all great. And we now have Gods of the Sea, Storm's attention, and ancient anger knows you. I love the little flavor for the Gods of the Sea. Salt's attention, it's watching you if it even exists. Stone's attention, it is very far away, but perhaps it's watching you. And Storm's attention, and ancient anger knows you. Great stuff. A+. Okay. No shops or anything, but we're pretty well provisioned, all things considered. Get some more fuel soon, hopefully. It will help if we make it to some new ports, as the Admiralty will give us fuel for a lot of that, but new ports shockingly get harder to discover as you fill out your roster of close ones. And here we are. We've already done at least as well as Celian did. Unsurprising, really. Oh, right. We didn't get the little something awaits you on the way back. That'll limit what we can do here. Dang, I should have thought of that. Pass on strategic information. No new news there, but we did get 150 echoes and the Admiralty's favor. Let's submit what port reports that we got. Oh, right. What is the next assignment? Polythreme. A good way east of London. Yay. Hunter's Keep. I trust the sisters are keeping well. They are citizens of her enduring majesty, notionally. 5 echoes and 1 fuel. Yay! The Kamayan Canal. No particular. The Salt Lions. The Bazaar has always taken an interest in that place. 20 echoes, 1 fuel. Admiralty's favor is unchanged because they're a little bit, above that. Demo's Gate. Here we go. 20 echoes and 1 fuel. Quaker's Haven. Been trying the original rubber lumps, have we? 5 echoes, 1 fuel. That's great. I am glad that they gave us fuel for those. Deliver the Sphinx Stone. Special constables, black uniforms, distinctive caps, the badge of the Ministry of Public Decency, wait with a cart. Sign. 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 Here's receipt. Here's a discretion contract. Here's penalty contract. Your vision is blurred by the end of it all. The cart rumbles off into the coiling fog. Here's your reward. 500 echoes, and we lost some terror. Wonderful. Let's visit the Rose Market. Moves in the Great Game. Okay, nothing new there. Clathermonts. Can I get my veils now? I can. 1 echo and 1 Z story. Should cure our terror, which is not at emergency levels, but it'll also get us some more veils. The Golden Needle pricks. Lily Clathermont hums. The design is complete. A ship's wheel, but with a curious elaboration to the design, like an optical illusion. We note the message about the message, Lily intones. You frown. She dimples. All right, that's just something Mr. C says to sound impressive. I don't know what it means, but I like the design. So we lost some terror, our money, and our story, but we gained 2 new veils, and your own sweet skin quality is now the Wheel of Mists. I think I may have mentioned this on stream before, but I do in fact have a Fallen London, Sunless Sea, etc. tattoo. It's my only tattoo. It is a correspondence sigil for the altar stone of an abandoned temple. It's rad. I like it a lot. I am open to getting more tattoos. Still need those romantic stories. You would think with the enthusiasm I have for all of this, I would be better at the game, but being good at games is just not my brand, We don't need more crew. We don't need a dry dock. We can perhaps read the morning papers to get some recent news. Got no terror, so I can't rest. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. News from home. The Echo Bazaar, that enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor Empress has forbidden singing in the street outside her palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited a drinking fountain. The Ministry of Public Decency has located and destroyed a nest of gallbladder wasps. Let's see. I think that's about it for this stuff. We're going to need more fuel for sure. Hold on to some of my curiosities for now. I don't know that it's going to be to my benefit to spend too much on any of this stuff. Currently, I need a new ship more than I need anything else. Some of these are pretty tempting, though. Cottrell and Heather Sage, discouragement is an aft weapon that's more powerful than my deck weapon. Love that. Torpedo gun. So I could afford the highest of Caro Naval Surplus deck weapons, but it only really gets me 3 additional damage for 500 echoes. Cavendish Yards, of course, has the most powerful one, but it's 900, and I'm not there, and it would, you know, net me just some. Full stack exchange. Yeah, if I want to hang on to my mushroom wine, and I think I do, then all that remains is to get provisioned. Don't think I bought enough fuel last time. Really. $12 fuel is a fair bit. I think I'm going to go looking for Mount Palmerston and just kind of north into east, maybe the Chapel of Lights. If, of course, these are unfamiliar proper nouns, then all to the good. I am certainly not being needlessly ominous with my foreshadowing. Perish the thought. All right. Well, in that case, let's be off. Headed east and perhaps a little north. I think probably I'll try to zip through some of the uncharted spots on my chart here on the way. Just make use of being well provisioned for once and try not to die. Difficult as that sometimes is. Yeah, honestly, I don't really need to steer right now. Down at 0 terror, too. That won't last very long. Especially if I happen to locate Frostbound, which, you know, I may not. Or, for instance, sail through some fog. Angler crab. Scuttle off. So you're probably hearing some fireworks right now. They're very close to us, and there are quite a lot of them. And we got rain the evening of the 4th, so I think people are just trying to find a dry evening to do their fireworks. If they keep up, I may go ahead and take my break a little early. Oh, that is not one of those little pirate vessels. It is significantly more dangerous than that. But I guess I'm fighting now, so... How did you miss after you shot a flare? Wild. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to stay right behind them. But I'm going to try. I don't think they have an aft weapon. And so far, so good. I've been hit once for not that much. Though they are using their agility to come around on me a bit. I don't do a ton of damage. Hello, Draskar Ice. Welcome. You join us as I find myself slightly outmatched by a Corvette in my base ship here, but they keep using flares instead of shooting me, so I think I'm going to win. Yeah, I've only been hit twice. No crew loss. Ha. Let's see. Crippled. Broken. Already feeding the Z's endless hunger. Little remains of the ship but scraps of sinking cargo and a few buoyant parts of its splintered carcass. So we can investigate the wreckage. You will have to be quick to salvage anything. or leave the wreckage. The battle is over, you're done here. And I note that the little requirement here is rumors of the pirate poet, so I think I'm going to investigate the wreckage. We steer close, shining the lamp onto the debris. Captain, quick! Over there, port side! The pirate poet. We do love a pirate poet. The legendary clay woman corsair. She clings tight to the last few scraps of floating debris, defeated but defiant. We can rescue the pirate poet, claim a bounty, throw a rope, claim bounty, or salvage the cargo instead. The Z may show mercy, you will not. What kind of monster would Tohil have to be not to rescue the pirate poet? She hunts far from London, picking off both other pirates and travelers who have sailed too far. The price of freedom. It takes 3 crewmen to pull the pirate poet from the Z's clutches, while others mutter about bringing an unfinished man and unfinished woman aboard the ship. She just smirks. She carries little on her but the verses of poetry tattooed over every visible inch, and an old sword almost as chipped as she is. Fortunately, her salvaged possessions also include the jangling money purse on her belt, fat and ready to pay the traditional freedom price of her current bounty. As much as the crew could subdue her, all are relieved once she is aboard a lifeboat, rowing away through the darkness toward Gator's Morn. An occurrence. Your encounters with the pirate poet quality is now you have defeated the pirate poet. You have a rival at Z. And we got 400 echoes, which is wonderful. Better than anything else we could have found from defeating a random corvette. Okay. Where were we? We were heading up into the darkness near the Shepherd Isles. I think we had kind of meant to stop at Demo, but I don't think we're going to backtrack. So let's just turn north. And fill in some chart. No crew lost. We lost a little bit of hull, but nothing disastrous. Bonnie Reefs. Terror still very manageable, holding on to that pretty well. Man, we've already gone through 4 fuel just doing that fight. Something underwater to the northwest. Yeah, you don't say. Can't go visit it yet. Right. Shepherd's Wash, salty hinterland of London, home of hermits, nuns, and shadowy business. Alright, we are filling out some chart here. Hopefully finding a port or 2. If not, we can stop at the Shepherd Isles momentarily. Alright, I don't know what just spotted me. But, stalagmites loom in the distance like the cranes of Wolfstack docks, but vaster, vaster. Corsair's Forest. Our lookouts are watchful. Yeah, we don't want to get too much further north, I don't think. Yeah. No desire to fight a frigate. Though they seem to have a desire to fight me, jeez. Heading into some fog. And then down to the Shepherd Isles. Another ding-dang frigate, huh? Well, that one's less dangerous. We could fight that one if we had to. Not that I'm looking for trouble, but we could. All right. We'll stop in Field Haven here momentarily. Sheep, lichen, standing stones.
Course, the bearded watchman tells you. There are no actual shepherds on the Shepherd Isles. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No need. Just the name of the gentleman that found the islands.
Greybeard sitting in the village square nods solemnly.
No sheep, one says, but plenty of tales. Ask us anything.
So we can visit some stuff. Let's go ahead and compile a port report.
Oh, yes, yes, there's been goings-ons. I do like to perform this one. I know there's videos of me doing it already in the VODs, but in the bleak light of the false stars, surface roiling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and a flash of fire, 3 widows swimming, tentacles all, and then we saw His Highness. There's rather a lot of this material. Let's see. Picnic at the Standing Stones, which wouldn't be terrible. Hear tales of them. I don't remember what I may have done already with this particular captain. I don't quite have the supplies to ask them about the rest of the Z. I could buy them, but I don't think it would be a good value. Especially since I'm going to be buying some fuel in here, right? We don't have enough terror to really make sense to picnic at the Standing Stones. Let's ask about the graves. Who sleeps beneath the turf over on that island to the northwest? Hunters at rest. They're chilling it, right? They're hunters. They killed a turtle the size of London and built their city in its shell. A ship from the Chilnet came by hunting the midnight whale. 3 of them died cowards, so their bodies couldn't go into the sea. They paid us for the land and whale ivory. I still got the piece, but I keeps it safe. A Z story and a memory of distant shores. And I guess that at least gives an answer to the origin of the turtle and the Chalinet. It appears that at least according to the Shepherd Isles, they did kill the turtle that they live inside, which shame on them, frankly. All right, buy some more fuel. I think we can get to Palmerston, so I'm not going to buy too much. I guess we'll see. I'm going to try to skirt Gators Morn a little bit, go out and then up. Try to hit the salt lions on the way back. Here goes. Through the fog, I suppose. Help keep us safe from piratical types. Man terror accumulates fast when you can't see anything. Start angling a little bit northerly. Hey, we discovered Khan's Glory. A slightly silly kind of place. The Salt Steps. This is the domain of the new Khanate, whose ancestors came here long before London fell. They have ships that will attack you, even though they just straight up do business with you once you're in. So I'm going to try to avoid getting murdered by war trimarans. How long it took me the first time to realize you could sail under these bridges. Oh, there's the port. Oh, come on. Leave me alone. I'm in the city. Okay. Khan's Glory. A place of stately isolation. Yes, the city of spies. Here are the palaces of the Khan and his court, each a fortress to itself. Sleek lords and ladies in belted robes breakfast on balconies. An unlikely antelope peeks at you from a park. Guns rotate easily on motorized gimbals. I do not have coffee to offer gifts, so it's going to be a limit to the amount of stuff that I can do here. The Leopard clan, the royal clan of the Khan, responds well to bribes of dark drop coffee beans. We could petition for access to the Nephrite Quarter, grants trade licenses to foreigners. This would need for us to be able to give them some coffee. Offering a gift to the Timon. It's a clan named for a sizable and ferocious fish of the surface, a fondness for drowning pearls. Don't have any of those either. And we could sort of balance their various favors against each other. And let's see, we could cruise past the clan palaces for, I assume, a port report here. Have a little story we could start here. All right, let's go ahead and see about our port report if we can. Khan's glory has a steely beauty, but the clan lords are ever suspicious of spies, and those gun emplacements are vigilant. So let's take our low-risk challenge, which we succeeded on. Strength and brilliance. Lights blaze from every gate and window. You glimpse guards in gleaming uniforms, subterranean gardens of mauve and purple, hanging ornaments of scaled carnelian and jade, statues of warrior Khan's past. The water is dark and calm. The sentries watch you with calm distrust. So we've lost some terror, gained a memory of distant shores. And we now have won the white and golds are watching you in our menaces. Kaganian suspicion did not give us a port report, which is perhaps not super surprising, but I was hoping. Oh, it's because nothing awaits us. We didn't have it. That's part of the problem. Well, let's see. Take a meeting concerning a matter of no importance. A servant of the Timon is missing. His loss is a grave danger. There is a place one doesn't speak of. Officially, a former servant of the Timon who did not engage in the gathering of strategic information did not disappear to the Untersee port of Anthe. Anthe? Who knows? Which officially does not exist. At length, you hear what this servant did not look like, and strict prohibitions against pursuing him. Officially, no one in Khan's glory would have any interest, or be at all inclined to reward you with money and connections if you were to go to Anthe. They would not care for a report of his situation, or any information he may be unable to bring home. The writing in this game is delightful. Alright, so there's not too much we can do without access to the Nephrite Quarter, but I can hopefully just stay in the dock while this Tremoran goes somewhere else. Eventually, maybe. Please. Don't come closer. Obstinate circuity is a pretty good way of putting it, Draskrise. I am losing my entire mind watching this War Tremoran just camp. Go away. Just gonna spin slowly in place, I guess. Come on. Alright. Well, I'm gonna make a run for it while it's kind of sort of stuck. Get me out of here. Alright, let's see what else we got. Khan's Heart. And maybe we can even find Khan's Shadow. We'll see. Ogadai Bridge. The Copper Quarter. The Nephrite Quarter. Khan's Heart, London's rival. An oasis of light in the salt black wastes. Canals thread the painted city. Street lamps glow and water taxis putter. Let's see. A panicked wave. Someone trying to get our attention that I can't really do anything with yet. Seek a commercial license. The Kaganians dislike merchants, and they dislike foreigners. Foreign merchants induce paroxysms of antipathy. Perhaps sufficient bribes will buy your way into the Nephrite quarter. We could spend time in the tea house, but I don't think our terror is really at a point where that is particularly... Purchase fuel at an outrageous price. Purchase supplies at a ludicrous price. Pay a storyteller. Storyteller in the Square of Cedars wear brightly colored caftan-like clothing with silk sashes in contrast to the more sober and subterranean dress of the citizenry. For coin, even foreign coin, they'll sing epics of their nation's history. Here's where we can do a port report with a very, very high likelihood of failure. Don't have a lot of other options for all the spying. As Kaganian suspicion increases, this action becomes more difficult. If you have an intelligence network here, it's easier. The Khanate generally assumes that all foreigners or spies are worse. It would be a shame to disappoint them, but it might be dangerous to prove them right. Yeah, no trade here really in the real bits. Seek a commercial license. We don't have any Nephrite rings. Not here, Surfacer. Surfacer? But the Kaganians have been generations underground, and to them all Londons are surfacers. It seems you'll need to go to Khan's Glory. Nearby palaces and the ability to seek a license, which I kind of figured was what we'd get told, but it was worth a try. And let's maybe pay a storyteller and see what that does to our suspicion, if anything. The Temptations of Parabola. Where London now stands, the capital of the Khanate once stood, after its own disappearance from the surface. After the clean sky and wide earth, they went half mad in the close night under the earth. They found serpent things and mirrors that promised them diversion, escape, new horizons. In time, the mirror serpents became masters, not servants, and the last true Khan led the last of his people to the Salt Steppes, to a black rock where he founded the city. How he built it is a tale for another day. You feel eyes on you. A woman in white and gold uniform watches you closely. The loyalty service is suspicious of foreigners who want to learn Kaganian history. So we gained 3 more suspicion, as well as memory of distant shores. Probably not the best use of our resources, but how are we to know? Would love to establish a spy network, but perhaps another time. All right, let's go out the other side here and then maybe start looping north. Our supplies are pretty low, so I'd love to find a friendlier port where we can actually increase them before we have to start, following the instructions in the game's tagline. That would be less than ideal, I think. All right, let's hopefully loop outside of the patrols of the War Trimarans. Discovered Khan's Shadow. Cool. There it is. Probably will be quite expensive, but probably able to buy at least something here. Huh. A skilled crewman. This is the sailor who came to you begging for a berth. He's done good work, this one, but he's keeping a little shrine to the salt, the nameless god of the horizon, at the back of the hold. So we can permit it. Out here, Captain needs all the help he can get, even from sad, strange gods of farewells, or forbid it. I'll have none of this nonsense aboard your ship. If salt even exists, its attention is dangerous. Well, I do already have salt's attention, so I don't think it can get worse, and I do like a good occult superstition, so let's just go ahead and permit it. It's fine. Already have the attention of salt, but breath of air. Let him keep his salt circle and his chalked arrow. That night, as you stand on the foredeck, a soft breeze comes out of the east, salt's direction, tussles your hair, and passes. Well, that would have been nifty if I hadn't already had it. As it is, I'm glad I avoided angering any of the gods of the sea. Here we go. Wanderer's Haven. Khan's Shadow, the city that swam. Long ago, the Khanate turned its back on its warrior traditions. It has no place for pirates and would-be nomads, so here in the shadow, the exiles make their home amid 100 wrecked, grounded, decommissioned ships. So many malcontents, so little time. Let's acquire a port report. Closely written notes. Conniving, debauching, speechifying, drinking, singing, speeching, poeting. Now and then a drunken duel, very occasionally a savage ritual murder. Let's see, we could sell our wine, buy ivory or souls. From dearly departed, purchase what remains. That's fun. Figurehead of the Eater of Names. Blech. Blech. This weird skull once adorned the worm-drawn priest barge of the Chelinet. Bleh, bleh. Traveler's friend, fuel, supplies, and wonders. A mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. Oh, the turns of phrase. A sullen viric glow leaks from within. Sometimes it rattles. Best not open it. Sells for 500 echoes if you've got one. Prices here are pretty good for out on the open Z. And I could sell an artifact, but I don't think I need to. This is also where you can buy mirror catch boxes, so it's good to know where it is, even if I don't end up doing so right this instant. If I remember correctly, Draskarice, you can do it. It is, I've done this story once on a previous captain long ago, and it is quite an operation, and of course they are mad about it. But you can do it. It is possible. But mirror catch boxes, an unlikely device for capturing sunlight, are one of the ways I believe to make quite a lot of money on some stuff in this game once you have the capital. Very angry. And the mile breaker. This frankly sinister device reduces the amount of fuel that an engine uses. It also really frightens the crew. Apparently that's necessary. So added fuel efficiency at the cost of 10 hearts, which is substantial. Yeah, this is from the folks who brought you the trenchant. A good question, not a wise one. Yeah. There is an expression characters in the Neath will sometimes use, like when they mean, heck no, I'm not crazy. They'll say, what, do you think I'm seeking the name? That is the titular good but not wise question. All right, so I do need to stock up here. Let's go. $10 and $5 is a start. No ships available here. All right, let's see what our chart looks like. Probably Polythreme is somewhere in this dark area here. So I did want to go find Palmerston and loop around to the Salt Lions, but that is pretty tempting just to sort of sail into this area, clear some of our chart of its unknown areas, and hopefully find Polythreme. Much further east, and we'll be in real trouble if we run into absolutely anything. I mean, I guess nothing ventured, etc., etc. So, and it's good to have the Khanate on the map, as there are some things that kind of require visiting the Khanate. I will need, well, yes, to Draskarice's point, the Z undergoes realignments occasionally, and so the map gets randomized between captains. One of the things that you can actually do with a successful enough captain upon retirement and maybe death is lock your chart, which can be a really useful way to get a head start with a new captain, but it does sort of sacrifice some of the other options you could have taken, and can prevent you from getting quite as lucrative a start with the Admiralty. So let's see. We watch for fungal pads in the Sea of Lilies. There is a prison here guarded by knot oracles. Ugh. I keep doing this where I manage to just pass from the corner of one cell of the map to another. And it's my special talent, I guess. We discovered Lick-a-Monkey Crag. I don't want to lick a monkey. Oh, a bound shark. I don't really want to fight that, so... But I also don't want to get into the Dubois Maelstrom either. Goodness, this is very dangerous and I don't like it. I mean, I do. I like all of it. But... yeah, teleporter's at it again. Whichever X-Man snuck onto my ship. Remember my Z-Bat. Pigmode Isle to the south. A little further out of my way than I wanted to go, but good to know. Oh. The Labyrinth of Eels. That's, you know, everyone's least favorite labyrinth, I think. I guess, well, not everyone's. The eels probably like it just fine. I would say, Drask, that you are not too far off in a connection to the Labyrinth of Tigers, but certainly more of a thematic one than, sorry, I bumped my mic there, one of functionality within the world. I was sure I'd find something useful. Abbey Rock. Well, something anyway. Ontological balance indeed, yeah. We found the Sisterhood. Man, I hope Polythreum isn't further east. That would make me sad. And I guess I am in as good a position as I'm likely to be to head to the Salt Lions on this voyage. We'll see. Oh, hello, Gillifleur. All right. Here, the Grim Sisters' lair. A black spit of an island far from anywhere anyone would want to go, and that's how the Sisterhood likes it. Here stands their fortress convent. There are bear traps that look friendlier than this. Yeah, let's compile a port report. It's likely to be uneventful, as always. Nothing is happening. The sisters watch us. We feel their eyes. The sea crashes on the rocks, withdraws. The fortress stands stolid as the last year of a century. The greatest peril you risk here is a certain purpleness of prose. Let's see. Watch the convent. Search the surroundings. Beginner's luck, huh? I don't know if this is the best place to spend that, but I don't know that I'll survive to get to another place to spend it, so... Den's always in danger of purpleness of prose. Confession, me too. Let's see. What else am I going to use my news for? Brief attention. The muscular prioress, the abbess's lieutenant, comes to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to news of marsh beast predations and the traffic of the rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures your crew. So, -2 terror. Not amazingly useful, but also fine. Well, let's go ahead and use our beginner's luck because it's who knows when the next opportunity we'll get will be. A cache. You follow tracks into a sea cave. Someone has stored food, supplies, ammunition. It can't be the nuns. These crates have a connate look. The Admiralty will want to know about this. Time is. Once per game, something pleasant will happen. I got strategic information, 5 fuel, 5 supplies, and torpedo components. That's kind of amazing. Not mad about that. That was, in fact, kind of well spent. Let's watch the convent. Wait a while and see. Draskais has commented that the opposite of purple prose is Hemingway, who would have died of several different conceptual through lines of the Neath. And I think you're right about Hemingway's demise in the Neath. I think perhaps the there is a triangle with 2 opposite poles of purple prose, because Hemingway is more terse, but there's also like thudding. That is not exactly Hemingway, but very well could be an opposite of purple prose as well. There's a queerness, commas, yeah. There are many things in the Neath that will kill a Hemingway, so be careful if you bring your Hemingways to the Neath. Let's see here if I can get this going. There we go. All right. I think now this is usually around the time where I'd be wrapping up, but I'm having a good time, and we seem to have folks in chat. And so if you'll indulge me a quick break, I will go to the wait screen and put on some soundtrack, and be back in just a few minutes. Top off my water, into the restroom, all that good stuff, maybe grab a bite, and enjoy some tunes in the meantime. Here we go.
All right, I'm back. Hopefully you enjoyed these excellently named tunes. They're consistently really good at this over at Fail Better. A couple of the ones we just heard were like elegiac, benthic, sultry, but there are also harmonium over matter, hull is other people, vox zombius, the sea does not forgive, and perhaps my personal favorite track in the entire soundtrack, by which I mean the one that I would die if I just heard it ambiently as the soundtrack of my life. Just instantly my heart would stop, is Fluke's Fathoms. All right. I probably am not going to be going for like a ton more time, but I did want to keep going for a little ways, and also to call out the excellent, don't be careful bringing your Hemingways to the Neath. It's a good place to dispose of Hemingways. That's a pretty good attitude for if you got a Hemingway infestation, the Neath will get rid of them for you. So let me go ahead and finish up with Abbey Rock here, and we'll see if I either get to get back to London, like finish an expedition in a relatively short order, or just kind of make a discovery or something. Like I said, a half an hour-ish still to go, perhaps. So, a little sip of my drink here. Nice and close to the mic for the Foley. 10 does not have any Hemingways, but knows where to find several business majors. I have a couple of hot spots on a map. Don't exactly know how to get the bazaar involved, but problem for another day. Don't really need supplies, so off we go. The question is, I don't really want to get too close to Gator's Morn, but just motoring for the Salt Lion seems like a waste.
Dress Grace raises a good point. Perhaps spare the business majors who aren't too far gone and instead go for the professors and the administrators who hire them. I was genuinely not thinking of students here. I was thinking of people who, like got their MBA or whatever. Marketing degree would probably be the first, to be shipped to the Neath. Although I kind of shudder to think what the Masters of the Bazaar would do with an influx of marketing majors. That may be a little bit of a monkey's paw kind of thing. In any case, here we go. Let's be bold, daring. Yeah, I have faith that if anyone can save them, then it is you, your business majors. There is a sadly abandoned, like original story online fic. I don't exactly know how to, not fanfic exactly, but the premise was, what if a whole modestly sized town in West Virginia got isekai'd instead of just like one dude. I think it got 2 chapters in and was quite fun. The author ended up really hating it. And that just made me think of that story. And then I found $20. All right. If anybody doesn't know, and then I found $20 is the way of ending a story that doesn't otherwise have a good, satisfying end. Yeah, probably what's on here is not going to be quite worth 20 echoes, but it'll probably get close. $20, nice. Yeah. Let's see what we got. Lean pickings. Something at the back of the hold. 5 supplies. Goodness. Well, that's actually worth quite a lot more than $20. Hardtack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that the nails look tastier than the hardtack until an officer's glare silences her. So yeah, that's pretty great, to the point where I'm actually worried about having the requisite space to get Sphinx Stone. So let's take the long way around and hopefully not run afoul of any ships that we can't fight. Oh yeah, great picking up on that detail, Draskreis. The teeth on the key in the illustration for the looting event there are in the shape of an item from Fallen London called a judgmental hat. All right, so far so good. Got some fragments. Ooh! We hear those voices that will not be drowned. This is the Sea of Voices. We are close to Polythreme, where nothing is truly dead. I would never have thought that Polythreme could be this far north. That is interesting and useful. All right, well, let's see if our Zbat can help us find Polythreme. Yeah, some things in the randomization of Sunless Sea here can be in a lot of different places. Some sort of beetle has invaded your morsel of ship's biscuit. It waggles its antennae impertinently. Something underwater some distance to the northeast. Let's see what we can find. Doing all right on supplies. Well, that tells me something. Ugh. We found Godfall too? Dang. All right, well, I know where my next stop's going to be. And here's Polythreme. Forlorn, obey, Polythreme, endure. Yeah, this is perhaps the least typical Neath map I've had in quite some time. I guess I won't know for sure until everything's on it, knock on wood, but yeah, it's kind of wild. Commingle. Here we go. Polythreme. Here is screaming. There's Fluke's Fathoms. God. If there's no music playing when you come into the Sea of Voices, this is what accompanies the little ticker in your logbook that tells you about nothing truly being silent. Taciturn claymen, evasive clothes colonies walking like humans, cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. We can gather intelligence for a port report. Shore leave. Drink beer that wails from cups that sob, if you like that sort of thing. Polythreme is an expensive place to reduce terror, you don't say. A contact colony. Your contact waits at the Whistling Eye, a masked bundle of grimy satin. The light here is poor, but it seems to have more gloves than it should. We could carry claymen to cargo. Are they passengers or carry claymen to London? Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers imaginable, unless, just unless, one turns out to be an unfinished man. And to conserve my hold space, I think. So perhaps not now, but port report. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there's unrest in the air. The clay men you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not, the maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. We've got a port report from Polythreme. The city cries out. And our contact colony, a muttered plea. Please, wheezes a voice from within the mounds of clothing. Take it. I need to pay my debt. It seems that the clothes, mostly gloves you see, are more wearing than being worn. The pale and sweating fellow within is a prisoner of his wardrobe. Take the report, though your fingers may shrink from the touch of the living cloth that binds him. Return it to London, and perhaps you'll help him pay what debt he owes. So we've gained one terror, a tale of terror, another strategic information, Udalali, and completed our commission for the Admiralty. Let's see what they've got in the way of shops. Temple of Labors. Bring material. Buy. Sell. Yeah, this is not a particularly good place for supplies, really. You can buy claymen, but I don't have the quarters for it, and they need an auxiliary slot. They do have some good flavor text, though. We will work, or we are clay. We will work. We will only work. This trio of clay stokers will reduce crew requirements, but also crew capacity, and will slightly increase engine power. They are fitted to an auxiliary slot. When they're not in use, they will stand patiently, hands by their sides, flat gray eyes unreadable. One will say sometimes, I like it when it is quiet. So that's Polythreme. Welcome. When I was playing Fallen London more regularly, a huge chunk of my time was spent attempting to find a way here. To Draskari's question, they do not have a Judgment's Egg. They will buy a Judgment's Egg. You cannot buy them here, but you can sell them here. Same with the Ivory and the Casket of Sapphires. All right, let's see if we can't go to God's Fall and then sort of swoop south to the Salt Lions and make our way back to London. I may or may not make it all the way this time.
but we'll see. Oh, my spacebar has gotten stuck. All right. There we go. I think I got it. I don't know, have some guesses as to what the Clayman could want a Judgment's Egg for, but yeah, I would prefer not to speculate. Among other things, it's rude. All right, I think we're on a pretty decent course for Godfall. Not exactly a welcoming place, but, you know, the tides of appetite. A place where, were I really here, I would not sail if I had a choice. Got a fog bank. Unfinished pirates. Probably could take them if I had to. Would rather just sail past them, honestly. Aishavin. Oh, other side. Really don't know how anything in this game is, like, supposed to be pronounced. But I have some of those sort of another Corvette. Maybe we'll fight you on the way out. We'll see. Could use some more veils, I think. But we made it. Godfall. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. The brawling bearded men who live here call themselves monks. They pay lip service to Saint Stalactite, which fell from the roof, but their chief interests seem to be wine, blood, and shouting. So speak with the monks about their newest member, or of wine, of blood, and of shouting. We could also explore the Shattered Citadel, which will not be taking place this time, but I want to read the bit here. Before the stalactite was a monastery, before it ever fell from the roof, it was a citadel. The fall shattered it and killed all its occupants, probably. Why don't you take a look? The more foxfire candles you have, the better. Bad things will happen if you run out. So, I do not have any foxfire candles. I will not have any for some time, but I just thought that was nice and portentous. So, of shouting. Let them tell you about past and present events in the monastery. Tales. They're eager to talk about their history. The stalactite, they assure you, was one of the citadels of the starved men who dwell in the roof. When it fell, a few of its occupants survived to become the monks' progenitors. How does that work, you wonder, with their vow of celibacy? They become vague and are suddenly eager to speak of the details of passing shipping. I'm sure it's fine. And let's see what they have to say here. They escort you to his cell. Used to be a sailor, one whispers. We were hoping you could help us work out what's wrong. The supplicant. An old bearded man sits cross-legged and naked in Godfall's smallest monastic cell. At the sight of the group he flinches. His wrinkled skin is covered in faded scars. No more freedom, he whispers. 10 of the clock we sweep, 15 past 10 of the clock we wash. There are orders, there must be orders. No more freedom, please. A monk hands him a mop and bids him clean the entire chapel by first bell. The supplicant squeezes it tight. Yes, master, he whispers, tears of gratitude welling up in his eyes as he scampers off. There's an awkward silence. He should make a very devout monk, one of the others ventures, once we finally get him into the habit. But tish. So yeah, just a little fun clue about what's underwater roundabouts here. Don't think they have too much in the way of shops or anything. Watching my time. Checking my chart. Let's see if we can go over Gators more into the Salt Lions, and that may be as far as I go this time. See if we have a Corvette to fight or not. The Antonine Abyss is a wonderfully suggestive little name for a rift in the Z floor. They're coming this way. All right, well, I guess we fight you. Why not? See if we can do as well with this one as we did with the last one of these we fought. Staying out of the firing arc. Just takes a minute, you know? You guys know that the flares help me too, right? I don't think they do know that. It would be lovely to have a deck gun with stagger, but I think that's mostly forward and aft weapons that can stagger enemies. One more shot. There we go. Did it. Investigate the wreckage. Pirate poet again. I guess this is just a real thing with these Alcaias class corvettes. She likes flares. Why, thank you, Anything So's, for the compliment on my maneuvering. Let's see. I guess I could have an officer rescue her, but I'm not heartless. Gracious in defeat. The pirate poet hauls herself up the rope, nodding her gratitude to the crew. Another battle well fought, Captain, she grunts. Few are in a second verse. I have no idea what this person should sound like. I'll figure it out as I go. Along with her freedom price, she presents a gift, a cask of wine, saved from the sinking vessel by her own mighty arms. They say it's a fine vintage. My men were saving it to toast our victory against you. Perhaps you would join me in a drink to them. Oh ho. So we got a cask and 400 more echoes. I guess I can try and find where she might set up shop for drink-related purposes. I'm guessing it's Gator's Morn. Maybe I'll brave the Morn, but I am pretty damaged, so we'll see. Either way, here we go. This has been a very profitable couple of ship battles with the pirate poet. I am impressed with our scrappy little battery here, that being the name of our ship. Corsair's Forest. Just keep an eye out for any ships as we approach the Morn. I'd love to just have a clear path of approach, honestly. Because I believe I can advance pirate poet story stuff in Gator's Morn. I mean, so far... Made it. Whew. All right. I think we've been here often enough across our captains to not particularly read through most of this. Well, nothing pirate poety so far, and I don't especially want to spend the money reducing terror I don't really have at the Errant Limpet. So let's see about our port report. We're probably going to lose a crew member on this. Failed a challenge. Scarecrow, you're eavesdropping on the captain of a lean black cutter when her first mate spots you. In the ensuing fracas, one of your crew is smashed through a flimsy wooden wall. He falls 200 feet to be impaled on a smaller stalagmite in the shadow of the morn and dies instantly. It's a painless death, but a slowly mummifying corpse will hang there for decades to come. Ships will salute it. Successive generations of children will name it, rename it, fling stones, dare each other to climb the pinnacle and kiss its fleshless hand. Well, I got a Tale of Terror, 5 Terror, and a port report, so could have been worse, I suppose. Exploring the Morn. Boy, neither of these is great. A contretemps with corsairs. Fights on the Morn have a staccato quality. A careless lunge will send you plummeting to your doom. So wait and choose your moment carefully. We could fight with a 37% chance of success, or flee with a 40% chance of success. I mean, I guess it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Let's try the fight. Hey, it succeeded. Blood on the Stone. You smash a wiry villain to the ground, trip over an incoming blade, leap to a neighboring perch, and send its occupant down the long, long way to the waters below. Your shipmates dispatch another 2 with well-flung rocks. The others flee, leaving 1 corpse for you to loot. Well, it's the law of the Z. 19 echoes for some something awaits you. It's not too bad. Don't think there's anything else there. Check the shops. That's right, everything is absurdly expensive here. That requires an aft compartment that I don't have. So I think one of the ways to just sort of get a fair amount of money is to buy mirror catch boxes, stock up on fuel and supplies, go to the Cumaean Canal, fill them with sunlight, and then come here and sell them at a profit of roughly 50 echoes each. Just requires a lot of upfront capital and a large cargo hold for it to really be profitable, because you have to lay in 22 fuel to go up the Cumaean Canal. May do a little bit of research just to ease the process here. All right, running down to the end of my time for the evening, but I think I can get to the Salt Lions, and that'd be sort of a nice little round off to the session here. And we'll have ended the stream a lot better off than we started it, even if the low point was early and quite low. If you weren't here when it happened, I got ganged up on by 2 Iron Republic dreadnoughts and was down to 3 hull for the remainder of that particular voyage. Yeah, real bad time in our little Ligaya class steamer. And I mean, I guess I could try to make it back to London. There's time. Would make a sense. Would probably at least stop at Hunter's Keep, if not Demo. We'll see. Maybe our bat can put Palmerston on the map if it's close. No islands. Dang. Oh, and a Gillifleur. Cool. All right. You can get me once. That's the only time. Oh, come on. All right, twice. Blech. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, a strange catch. A spreading stain. It's gone, but you're left with gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing, is it an egg, a heart, a less fortunate traveler, dissolved and shriveled to a mauve ruin? Put it somewhere safe. It might be some sort of fish, but it's best not to look too closely. All right, I am more damaged than I want to be, so I'm not going to be too adventurous here. Just get to the Lions and I think call it. Probably could get back to London, but be a little risky with, not too much fuel on hand and not too much hull left. So let's actually check our hold. Okay, we do have the space to lay in some Sphinx stone if they're selling, which is good. That is the goal. Perhaps next stream I will put a little more effort into chatting with my officers. I haven't done too much of that because of the whole scarcity of resources, but burning blue, a hiss of horror from the lookout. The glim lamp at the front of the ship is sputtering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but it's not a good omen. Attempt to calm them, a very modest challenge for our hearts, or spin them a story using our Z story. I mean, hearts is one of our... No, it's our lowest skill, but 74% is not too bad. Succeeded! Light meets dark. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. It's a physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explain something of this to your sailors. It's not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. So we gained a fragment and no terror, which I will take. All right. Compile a port report. Visit the Unmakers. Lose some terror. Always good. Buy some Sphinx Stone for 200 echoes, leaving us with just 5 space in our hold and not a lot of fuel to go with it. So I think this is going to be where we call it. I like to just do a little bit of an autosave there. And then let's put up the thanks for watching card. All right. Well, where's my... There we go. Put a little music on. So yeah, like the card says, thanks for watching. Was worried that we were going to have more problems earlier, but looks like found the proximate issue and was able to deal with it and get a nice good stream in. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and if you ever need VODs, they are newly mostly organized on the Dice Punks YouTube channel. So with that, until next time, thanks again and bye for now.